Listen, all right, this is not a football podcast anymore. We are not discussing any of that regular fantasy RPL Spartak jokes on me. That's not what we're here for. That is not what we're here for. Artem is going to make me discuss these two international games, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care. It's like the Stephen A. Smith video. I don't care about any of this, honestly. I haven't watched a single football game since the international break started, not one, and it's been very peaceful because, as everybody knows at this point, football hasn't been treating me too well recently. So instead, I've just been thinking about what we're going to mostly discuss for this podcast. But yeah, the Irish reunion is back. We have a special guest today. Before that, we have Artem. Artem, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, man, what's the wine?
What's the wine?
The vibe, the vibe, bro, the
Oh,
vibe.
I thought you said what's the wine. I was like, is that a
No,
saying?
no,
Like, is
no,
that
the
an Indian
vibe.
thing? No,
It's
the vibe is good. The vibe is always good. I don't know why this thing keeps popping up and making loads of noise whenever we start the podcast, but um, yeah, it's all good. It's good to be back. Like you said, there's not much football to be discussed, but we will go through the Russia games because we have to. We'll talk about the fantasy league. We'll talk about the fixtures coming up in the Ilias fantasy league, and then we'll get into some more relevant topics for this week. With all the hype train that's been going around, so that should be interesting too.
exactly. And joining us to discuss some of the more relevant topics, right? We brought him out of the woods. We brought a hip hop historian back out of the woods. He's been on the podcast before, but he's back again. It's the man himself, Connor. Connor, what's up? How's it going?
It's all good, yeah. I don't know if I'd go as far as hip hop historian, but I'll take it.
Nah,
You're Trap Lord Connor.
yeah,
That's what you're known as on these parts.
yeah. That reminds me of the tweet I sent about Traplo Ross. He was discussing like Chicago gangs, and someone took a screenshot of that video and captioned it on Twitter with, "Why is a Forever 20 shift manager giving us breakdowns on Chicago gangs?" And I laughed at that for a good while.
Oh, that
I mean,
was a
they're
good
in
tweet.
debt.
To be fair, Connor,
But
your YouTube name does sound like it could be a rapper, so we'll allow it.
yeah,
I mean, I think the bar for rap names is fairly low at this stage, if we're being honest with ourselves.
Yeah,
now that
that's
we're
true.
here, actually, what would be your rap name, Artem?
I was just thinking that I don't know. Um, I have no idea. Like,
Have
do you
you?
know what? You can give me a rap name if you want. We were actually while we're on the topic, me and Hanu obviously were meant to do a rap battle this week, but you just didn't smash the like button like we wanted you to. In fact, actually, you probably
Mm,
did, but we're having a problem with our YouTube at the moment where, like, 1 minute it's 6 likes, and then the next minute it's 2 likes, and
yeah.
like it doesn't make any sense. It's a bit of a weird one, and for some reason, there's loads of people disliking our videos, and their dislikes never
Yeah.
get removed. It's always just the likes that get removed. So that's why you're not getting a rap battle this week. But hopefully, if we can smash, let's say, 6 likes this week, and hopefully, you know what? Even if they get taken away, we'll do it next week. But it's just because of that. But Hanu,
Yeah.
if you have a rap name for me, hit me up.
Have you ever done
I guess
the one how Childish Gambino got his name?
Rap rap name generator.
Or is the
yeah,
Wu Tang name
yeah.
generator? I
One of
think.
them. I did a few of them. They didn't really give me much. That was like
Yeah, he got Childish Gambino. Everyone else gets something awful.
meaningful. Exactly. I don't know. I don't know how we got
Will
that.
we
But
do them
Connor,
now?
what would? Sure, why not? Till
Let's
then,
do them.
Connor, what would be your rap name?
Well, I'll do it for all
I
three
don't
of
know.
us.
Yeah, let's like. I feel like I couldn't pick anything wild. Like,
Like, have you got to
yeah.
put in your full name? Like,
I don't know.
I
It's
don't know
up
if
to you.
that was. I'm gonna find which one.
what the hell was that?
What? Who was that?
Hanu just fell out the window.
No, no, that was not me. That was Connor.
It was a water bottle.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Like, what the hell?
English, English,
Like,
English,
go
English.
English.
You're from England.
Woo me. Fire Drake Erratic.
That's awful. That is the
That's
worst
so
name I've seen in
bad.
my life. That is
You know what,
truly
though?
shocking.
Now I have to go for CLB later on when we're discussing the more pertinent topics, but we
Mm,
go with something for
go
Hanu
in.
and Connor
Go
as well.
Ooh, nah, that's trash. It sounds
I'm
Pantera,
not
like
sticking with that.
Pantera Phantom.
yeah, that's the
Connor,
name for
you're
another
the only one
profession,
left
not this.
for us. You're the
It's
only one
not
who
going to be
has a
good
chance.
though. Like,
It's really not. What do you even mean?
Do you know what?
What? These are just word combinations.
If it
like
was
what's the
if it
point?
was Fortunate Waster, then that would make more sense. But like, it still doesn't make any sense. Like, where's that one that Post Malone used to make his name?
It doesn't. My rap name would just be my name, my first name, but I would capitalize it, so that would be my gimmick. So it would just be all caps. That's like I said, real name, no gimmick stuff.
We'll go. Which one
Just
will we
go
go
to
from?
just go to Santander route and just literally go with your name.
Yeah.
He was named after the bank, though. Can I make like? Is there any bank that's
Um,
that would fit into my name? I'd like that Bank of
Um,
Artem.
nah, I don't think it would.
Okay, well, look,
Um,
it is what it is. You know, I'm not gonna go for another rap name generator because I was initially, but I just thought that they'd be a bit shit. So we'll leave that out,
yeah, no.
and we'll
Uh,
get it
Artem, take us through this. Take us through the Russia international break.
right. Let's do this. Right. So we all know Russia drew with Croatia last week, 0-0.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the last episode, so we won't discuss that here. But Russia had 2 games since then: Cyprus and Malta. I don't know what people were expecting, but probably wins. They got 2 wins. They didn't concede any goals. But the games were probably more tight than people would have liked. It was a bit of a weird one. I didn't watch either of these games live, not gonna lie. One of
Yeah.
them, like I just didn't really feel like watching the Cyprus game. I think I was out playing. I don't know. I was out doing something anyway. So I didn't watch that one, but I watched the highlights. You know, like good goal from Eurohim, decent goal from Zhemaletinov as well. Can't complain. Russia had, you know, more possession, less shots, but more shots on target. So you could say that it was a deserved win, but like probably needs to be a bit more convincing. Although saying that, I don't think they actually struggled against Cyprus. Malta was a bit of a different game. They also won 2-0 in that. Smolov scored after a mistake from one of the Malta defenders who passed it back to his keeper. Smolov intercepted, just slotted it into the bottom corner. Bakayev scored a penalty later on in the game. But this was a bit of a wild game because there was a mistake. I can't remember who made it. I think it was like Osipenko or something. Passed it back to, or tried to pass it back to Guilherme or something like that. And it was just outside the box at a really angled, like it was almost like a, you know, straight line
Yeah.
to the post. And someone had whoever it was, the Maltese player had to curl it around Guilherme and tried to get it in, but it went wide. Fortunately, Guilherme actually played really well during this international break,
Did
and
he?
yeah, he did actually. He made some like, not that he had to make a huge amount of saves, but every save that he had to make, he made it well. And there was one moment that one of the Maltese players had a good shot in the 6 yard box or so, and he made a good save for that. So can't fault him.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, decent results, but it's exactly what we expected. So I don't think there's much else to discuss.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't have much to say. I think Artem broke that down very well. I only recognize one goalkeeper in Europe, and that's Gavin Bazunu. Um,
Yes, absolutely.
I
Gavin
There should
Bazunu
be.
is the best goalkeeper in Europe. I want to
mm,
say, right, like, look, we could discuss more of the Russia game. I don't think anybody wants to listen to that. Everybody knows what happened, so we're moving on. Gavin Bazunu is the best goalkeeper in Europe, without a doubt. I don't know if anyone
he
watched the Ireland
no,
game. Probably not. I was there. It was unbelievable what he was doing against Serbia. Unbelievable. Any other keeper, if we had Guilherme in goals, it would have been 5-1 to Serbia.
Nova.
well, we did have Guilherme in goal, and it was 5-0 to Serbia. So that actually
Exactly.
happened. That did happen.
Holy
Um,
shit! Yeah.
but no, yeah, you were at the game. How was that? How you watched when you watched the local game with Georgievich? Was there on the pitch?
Um, I
He
watched.
probably was.
I don't remember. Like, George. No, I don't think he was. I think. See, this is such a long time ago. I don't remember. But George, it was that game where
Because why not?
who was that? Who
Um,
was the defender?
who? Cherno?
Chernov. Yeah. Made that unbelievable block, and Shomurodov scored twice. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was at the game Ireland against Serbia the other night, and we had good seats. They were like premium seats. We got them for free, so that was really handy. But the only problem with having premium seats is that in an Ireland game, premium seats just mean that you have absolutely no atmosphere. Like everyone there is
Hmm.
really really boring. You want to be in with like behind the goal. That's where all the
I feel
singing
like
Yeah.
that's
happens. That's
most
where all the
games
fun
where you
happens.
get premium seats.
Yeah, probably. But it was a bit dead, like where I was. But saying that the game was good, Ireland looked decent, and Bazunu is the best goalkeeper in Europe. That's all I have to say. He's a
Yeah.
first
Good.
he's a fair house local actually. He's from my area, so
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah. I am angling for Irish citizenship, so that's why I'm talking about all of this. Connor, what are your
Absolutely,
thoughts on
make your way
on
over, Hanu. We'll have you drinking Guinness in no time.
what are your thoughts on Stephen Kenny? I don't know why there's like a lot of Ireland on my timeline. Connor doesn't tweet much. Artem doesn't tweet much about Ireland, but still, like I am way too familiar with the nuances of the Stephen Kenny argument than I realistically should be. Some think he's the best man for the job. Some think he's trash. What's your take, Connor?
I like. There's no better option. Like that's just the simple answer. Like I don't know. There's a lot of the people who want him out are they're only online. Like they're not actually going to the games. Like people going to the games seem pretty happy with him. Like all the fans in the stadium were happy with him. But like if you get rid of Stephen Kenny, who's actually trying to do something and actually trying to get them to play some football, who do you replace him with? Like people are legitimately calling for Big Sam to come in and replace him, which would just like drive people away from Irish football, I'd say.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah,
Um,
I think personally, like, Kenny is the man for the job. Although he hasn't gotten a win yet, and it's been something like 18 months. Like,
Jesus.
the way the way Irish football was before Kenny was we played super defensive football and we hoofed the ball, and we've pretty much run out of at this point players to hoof it to, and like O'Neill did terribly at the end of his time. McCarthy wasn't great either. So like, I just I don't see any point of us trying to get someone like Big Sam in and get maybe a few quick results. But what's a few quick results gonna do for us? Like, I'm not being bad, but our our group had Portugal and Serbia in it. Were Ireland ever gonna get through? No. We may as well have taken the
No.
time to develop some young players. Like, we have some fantastic youth products coming in. Like, Bazunu is one of them. Like, we've got Oma Bamidele as well. He's unbelievable. Like, so good. We've got Cullen in midfield. Like, there's so many players that are coming through now that would have never had a chance to come through with any other Irish manager in the past. And I think that we do need to stick with Kenny. I said personally until at least 2024, because the players have full faith in him. The football that we're playing is way nicer. Like, even when we were 1-0 down against Serbia, even in the 80th minute when we were like down and not looking like we'd score a goal, we were still playing out from the back, and that's something that we would have never seen Ireland do, maybe ever in history. So it's just impressive to see at least some kind of progress on that, and I think the results will come. It's just a matter of time.
That's
Yeah,
fair. Yeah.
like we're not qualifying for this World Cup anyway, so I don't know why
Exactly.
you'd bin him off now.
That's the thing, and like at the end of the day, if we got in Big Sam, like I actually heard someone being like, we will get relegated from the next Nation Leagues.
Who
How
cares?
does that actually make any difference? Like, why? Like, it doesn't matter. We're still not going to be like favorites to get through in any group, regardless of where third or fourth seed. Like,
But it's
we
also I do feel like he had like there was a point under Martin O'Neill and Mick McCarthy where I just wasn't putting Ireland matches on anymore. I was
yeah
like, there's no point watching them because it's genuinely not fun.
yeah yeah.
Whereas I feel like at least with Kenny, even though we're not winning or whatever, but you can actually see something happening. Like you can see the style of play is different, like I'm saying. So you feel like you're building towards something.
That's the thing, and it is a big difference. Like, I do actually have full faith in Kenny, and like me and Connor were discussing, we both want to get season tickets for Ireland now, and like to say, like I've never wanted to get a season ticket for Ireland, ever,
No.
because it's been so dead to go to, because you're just watching like, you know, Ireland against Georgia, and it's 0-0 because both teams are just hoofing it up, and I'd much rather show up to games on and again, and maybe we lose more matches than we would before, but we're actually playing decent football, and when we have those moments, it's just worth it. Like,
Yeah, like I saw someone saying that like no matter what happens to Stephen Kenny, at least this time the Irish Player of the Year will not, or the Irish Young Player of the Year will not be 26 years old.
exactly, yeah. Like, the fact that even happened in the first place is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Not gonna
Was
lie,
it-
I have no clue.
Was it Egan?
May have been Egan.
Or he might have just been Player of the
Jesus
Year.
Christ.
Yeah,
No, Irish
it was
football-
dead. Like we had no one coming through, and the fact that like, no, I don't think anyone would have, like any other Ireland manager would have given Bazunu a chance, to be honest. At this age, at 19, playing in
Mhm.
League One, like, but he's come in and he's genuinely Ireland's best keeper, and like looking at the way he played the other day, he's on loan from Man City, and he wouldn't look out of place. Like, Man City need a goalkeeper this weekend. They're gonna play Scott Carson. Bazunu
That's
would
not
do a
ideal,
great
is
job
it?
in goals.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just there's you've got Obafemi as well, isn't it? Isn't he? Is he Irish?
Obafemi, yeah, from Southampton.
Yeah. And Adam Ida, whatever it is. And I just found out that he shares a birthday with me, so he's automatically my favorite player. And I hope he has a
Yeah,
great and long career.
yeah, like that's the thing. It's fun to watch young players come in. Like it's great to see. Like, for example, like we still have players like Shane Duffy and Doherty and stuff like that who give us experience. But it's nice to see people who aren't like 35. It's nice to see people not calling for Wes Houlihan back,
Mm.
because Wes
Yeah.
Houlihan's in, like, gotta be close to his 40s at this point.
That's like I think the next step is seeing someone who's not a centre back score a goal.
Yeah, actually, this is a fun stat. Since Roy Keane retired, or there's fucking Roy Keane, Robbie Keane retired, our main goal scorer has been Shane Duffy, the centre back. Now that
Yeah, the
tells
funny
you.
thing,
Yeah.
I think I tweeted that out as well, like a year and a half ago, and nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed. Nothing. I think he's got 7 goals or something.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has even scored. Like Johnny Egan scored,
It's
but like
no.
how many competitive goals have been scored by other players since then?
It's Duffy first and McLean second.
It says a lot.
No. Did Aidan McGeady switch from Ireland to Scotland, or was it the other way around?
No,
Other way
he
around.
was. I think he was born and raised in Scotland, and he played for Ireland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
should have stayed in Ireland. He'd probably still start for you guys. That's the crazy part.
Well, I'd
Like,
fucking
he's-
have him over McLean. James McLean
I
generally is
dunno.
still only in the squad because he's passionate. Like, that's the only
I
reason.
dunno,
Like, he
there was a-
just wants to be there more than everyone else.
there was a point in every Irish game towards the end where the camera would cut to the subs coming on, and McGeady would be there tucking in his jersey, and there'd be a groan. Like people didn't want him to come onto the pitch.
Yeah, look, saying that though, people didn't want him to come on the pitch when we were playing hoofball, and realistically, if Aidan McGeady was going to do something, he was going to have to round 3 or 4 players when we were 1-0 down, hit one by himself, which he could never do. But in a
I
team
genuinely
full of
think he did it once, and it was against Georgia.
Oh, I
Georgia away.
remember that. I remember
That was
that.
the only time he ever did anything.
But
You know, the thing about James McLean, this has nothing to do with football, is like James McLean has managed to carve out a special niche for himself, where that one like week where you have the poppies on your
Oh, yeah.
shirts, he always shows, like, that is his PR masterclass.
yeah,
For a week, all the headlines center on him. He just manages to get the attention. And I think in 40 years' time, people will still talk about this. Like, James McLean, 79 years old. What's your thoughts on?
he'll still be fucking playing for the team. He'll still be starting. It's ridiculous how bad he is. Like, every time we watch Ireland games, McLean is just such a waste of space. Like we've got Horgan and a few other players who could definitely fill in there instead of him, and they're not played because McLean has that bit of passion. He hates the Queen just a bit more than the other players.
Yeah, well, I can respect that, I guess, but nah, you need new guys to come in.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Well, we may as
but
well get off the Ireland. Like we, I feel like we've been on Ireland for a while. So
yeah, yeah, sure.
let's
So
let's
yeah,
let's get on to like the last Russian football parts we want to talk about, right? People
yes,
listening, please do not forget to do your fantasy teams. Don't forget there's jersey
yeah,
on the line. It's actually fairly close league. Like let's be honest, like from first to I'm not gonna
running
say
in.
to last because Kai's actually having a nightmare. Jesus Christ! But like say first to like 10th, a lot of potential there. Like all it takes is 1 or 2 good weeks and you could be right up the top. So don't forget to do this. Ilya actually has kindly sponsored his own league, the league that he's
Yes,
created, the league that we didn't have a prize for. We set out the name. We said we'd sell the naming rights to that. We haven't had any bids in, so Ilya said that he would put in 1,000 rubles of his own money to fund a prize for the winner. So that should be good. If anyone else wants to contribute to that, Ilya's also going to make a can't remember what he said, a GoFundMe or Yandex Pay or something like that, and we'll be able to get some better prizes for that league. So these are the fixtures for this week.
yeah. Do you have the name? Do you have the full name somewhere?
I don't.
Because
He
that's
he
what he said.
he said that he wants to come on and say the name himself. I think because he said
Oh,
we'll
okay.
like it, but he never told us it. So I'm looking forward to finding out what the name of this league is. But you can see there on the screen. I'm not going to read it out because most of our listeners are video listeners. So
Yeah,
you can have a
you
look
can see them.
yourself. And then this is the league table. The cheater himself is up the top.
Yeah, he has cheated by the way.
Yeah.
He
Oh yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
cheated.
He's trying to
Um,
make up that Cordoba got extra points. I'm not having it.
yeah, not having it at all. Kai is.
Kai is
Uh,
not having a fun time in any
yeah,
league.
yeah, he's not. He's not. He's genuinely not having a fun time. And Scunthorpe are struggling in the in League Two as well. So he is not. I don't know where Hull are, but I mean, I doubt they're doing that well. Um,
Yeah, they're having a
so
mare.
yeah, prayers for Kai.
Prayers for Kai.
Um,
Hashtag prayers for Kai. Anybody who's listening to this, prayers for Kai in the comments. Prayers for Kai on Twitter. We'll tweet it out with the hashtag. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, that's the end of the Russian football section. So if you're sick of us talking about shit, probably time to leave. But if you want to
yeah,
hear some interesting album chat, and if you're really interested in hearing what we think of Kanye West and Drake, and what we think, what is the sport that we would give up to end COVID, you have to keep listening. So,
you have to
first
keep
of
that.
all,
Coming up next on the Whatever This Is podcast,
this is where the ad
Kanye
comes
West
in.
breakup. Yeah,
This week's podcast is sponsored by, I don't know.
fuck all.
Yeah, fuck all. Sponsor us. Um,
Um,
but
but
we'll
but
we'll
yeah,
we'll get into the albums. So most people know Donda came out last week or the week before. Whatever, in the last 14 days
no,
anyway.
yeah.
And Certified Lover Boy also came out maybe a few days later after that. So, boys, have we all listened to these albums?
I had listened to them. You're the one that was late to the party. Artem listened to Donda today, and that is only because we had
I didn't even
because
finish
we
it. I
had
said I'd finish it. I didn't
yeah
finish it.
he didn't even. So look at this guy, man. Like on God, because I have had nothing to do during the international break, I have examined every possibility of a Drake Kanye beef. I could write a 2,000 word essay on both of these albums. That's how deeply I've studied them, right? Like the dates and everything, when Kanye dropped it, the entire timeline, and Drake leaking that great track with Kanye and Andre 3000, all of that. That's embedded in my head. Um, Connor, thankfully, has listened to both of these albums.
Hmm.
Um, and Connor, let's get started with Mr.
hang,
West himself.
hang on. I actually, yeah, actually, do you know what? Give it a little synopsis, but I want you to rate them on a couple of categories. Because although I haven't listened to all of Donda, I've listened to all the parts that you said were good, Hanu, and I've listened to all of Certified Lover Boy, so I can still chime in. But I've got a few points that I want us to discuss. But Connor, give us your synopsis first. Hannah, then you give us yours.
Yeah, Donda is long. It's almost 2 hours. Like, I remember, so the first thing I look at it, I'm like, already I don't want to listen to it. Um, and first listen, completely zoned out by the end, so I just wasn't paying attention. And it was only I gave it a second chance, the other day just to go through it, and I cut about half the songs out, and now it's a much better album. So there are actually good songs on there if you can stay awake for the whole thing.
Yeah. Artem, what's the grading rubric you want us to employ? What are you talking about there?
Well,
With
I've got a couple of like different things that we need to discuss. But Hannah, I need to get your synopsis of Donda as well first.
okay, so this might be long. Not that long, but like still long, right? So first point, I agree with Connor. It's way too long. It is way too long, right? But those first 10, 11 track, everything before that Junior song is one of the worst things I've heard this year, right? That song is awful.
I
But
hate
everything before that is like, I have not been able to take that off repeat. The jail song, the Jay-Z verse on that is like, it's very simplistic, but it hits. All the production is great, especially in those first 10 tracks. Every feature kills it. Weekend kills it. Travis Scott kills it. Baby Keem kills it. Vori kills it. Everybody that's on there. Off the Grid is a great song. There's Messi reference on there. So like the first 10, if it was just down to that much, it would be by far my album of the year so far. It would probably be one of my favorite albums, maybe ever, if it was just that, and if I was to grade it on that, typical album scale that we do. After that, there's a few I couldn't, like, I zoned out like Connor on my first listen, because I took the first bit really seriously, and then as the tracks went on, I couldn't. But then you listen to it on shuffle a couple of times, or you're just sort of doing something else, and overall I do think it is a very good album. But I respect it a lot more because you can see that Kanye is finally putting an effort into his music again. Like, compare the level of effort on this to um, Ye or Kitsy Ghost or Jesus King, whatever, and you can see that he's trying to do some groundbreaking shit. A lot of it is really heartfelt, which which I appreciate. So yeah, I really do like Donda. If this was any other artist with an hour and 44 minutes of music, I would probably not like it. But it's not just any other artist; it's Kanye. So yeah, I really like this album. Um, Now, Artem, what do you
Okay,
want to
well
say?
that was almost as long as the album. I'm
It
only
was.
joking. No, to be fair, you rounded it up pretty well there. But like we're gonna go through some of the things that you've already both discussed here. But I've got four things that I want to grade these albums on. So the first, right, we discussed this last week with Certified Lover Boy. First, we got to grade the album cover art. So we'll go with Don the first.
speaks for itself.
Um, it's I don't mind it, honestly. Like, yeah, I don't know what to say, man. It's a
Would
solid, solid. The funny thing with both Kanye and Drake stands is that they look too deep into stuff. So they'll say shit like, "Oh, this is a reflection of the void that is present in one's life once a parent is." Like, "No, shut up. It's none of that. It's just
I guarantee that someone has tried to go like the way you can like negative black pictures and see if there's like something inside. I guarantee somebody has tried to do
oh
yeah.
yeah.
There's nothing there. He was just lazy, bro.
that.
Well,
But
like
you know
Um,
the
what?
thing is,
Go on.
9 out of 10 times, 99 out of 100 times, you'd say that album cover is the worst of the one you're comparing it to. And this just happens to be the one of 100 times that it's not.
yeah.
You know what though? The one thing I don't like about this album cover is because my Spotify is like dark, right? It looks like the album doesn't exist. So like whenever I'm looking at it, it looks like like the album's not loading or something like that. But then I'm like, oh shit, that's just the album cover. But Connor, I think you're actually right because Drake's is
Not that.
not this,
It's
but
not that. Yeah, no. See now, this is probably the worst album cover I've seen in my entire life. and
Agreed.
I can give you some shouts.
It's
Um,
up there.
yeah, this is tragic. This is like that's why I'm angry at Drake. That's why a lot of people are angry, or I was angry at Drake initially because he did that entire he made us wait 9 months for this.
Mm.
Oh, look at that! Look at the magic 9 months. The emojis. Wow, Drake is a magician. But yeah, he made us wait way too long. The name of the album is trash. Um, everything, only the billboards. I like the billboards, right?
Yeah.
All of the other marketing garbage. Album cover shocking, and then you dropped things that are mid by your standards. It's still good music, but it's not nowhere near your best. It's one of your worst, and it's just yeah, man. That's why I like the Kanye album more than this because like it's clear that Kanye was trying to do something on there, whereas this
The,
is just I don't
the
know.
only thing about Drake's album cover is that he just did what he always does and made something memeable.
Yeah,
Because like for what a week afterwards, all you were seeing was everyone making a meme out of it. So everyone knew the Drake album cover. But like Drake stands will say something about like the fact that Damien Hirst designed it and how it's deeper than it is. But like
it's
whatever
not.
about the cover when it's still, it's like horrifying when you're on Apple Music or Spotify and it's moving.
Oh
Does
yeah,
it
I
does it
fucking
move?
hate that.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
move.
it's
I
like
don't know enough
the
of
women
the.
are basically just like rubbing their bellies and all. Like it's just
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
really uncomfortable.
It's just like oh Drake, just stop it, man. Like you're actually wasting my battery by doing this. Just stop.
You're a grown man.
Exactly. You're 34.
Artem, Google Born to Rap by the game,
Oh yeah.
and look at that cover. Like this is a shocking cover, but I think Drake's one is still worse.
This one, yeah, like this is essentially what Drake was going for, right? But he was more lazy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
This one just looks
Drake.
like there's way too much going on though.
You ever seen one of those pictures where it's like AI made it and nothing in it makes sense? This is
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like name
one of
one
those.
thing in this picture.
I feel like
can't.
look, rappers need to be more selective with who designs their covers because like Drake goes to Damien Hirst and gets that. Pop Smoke went to Virgil Abloh and got
Oh my
what
god,
he
yeah.
got.
Oh my
Like
fucking god. That is no. Do you know what? That's the worst.
No. Drake's is still
No, no,
worse.
no, 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 no. That is the like when I saw that, I remember I was like,
it's so bad.
sorry, what?
No. Wait, you know what? Now I'm just gonna talk
It doesn't
about
even
I
want to
Kanye.
actually
open.
forgot.
It's
I
that shit.
forgot how bad it is.
Like, come on, what is that? This man just
Man,
like
like Nav also
he
has.
literally just learned how to use Photoshop, right? And he's gone barbed wire PNG. He's gone diamonds PNG, and he's just put them on top.
I genuinely saw someone recreate the album cover spot on Snapchat.
Oh my days.
That's
Like
not surprising.
that's how
That
basic it is.
that's yeah. This is useless. This is the most useless album cover. Like I actually prefer Drake's to this.
And the thing is, I'm so glad this wasn't the actual album cover because that album
Mm.
is very very good. That was a
Yeah.
great album. So I'm glad that see that's a nice cover, man. It's elegant.
It is. It's
Unlike
elegant.
what
Es-
Virgil was
Especially
what
considering it was a posthumous album. Like that cover fits
yeah
it way more than Virgil's.
yeah. This should be our alternative like cover art for this week.
Oh, that would be so
Uh,
funny. Oh
next week we'll
god,
do
this is
creation.
like this is
Yeah,
like you download music from LimeWire and this is the cover that comes out.
this is the Napster version of nah, but
Oh, that's so
yeah,
funny. Okay, so the
that's
next thing I want to discuss is the length, right? We've already kind of touched on, but they're both very fucking long.
pause Artem.
Mm.
Artem doesn't know what pause is, unfortunately, but Connor does. So um, Connor explained the concept of pause to Artem because why not?
When you say something sus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Artem said, let's talk about the length, which can be interpreted to be sus. Not saying it is, but
Yeah, well,
yeah, Artem, let's talk about the length.
I want to know all about Kanye and Drake's length. Just let me know. There's
Right,
27
what do you want to
songs in
talk about?
Donda. Hang on,
Yeah,
is that a P? Like a Russian P?
it is. Wow, that's
What?
crazy.
Hang
That's
Change,
that
name's
crazy.
been changed.
that can't be the real. Like that's not the fuck. Why the hell has it been there? Like
No, no, that's the genius font. That's not, yeah, that's not Kanye.
yeah, I
That's
was wondering.
the
And
font
then
they use.
Drake has 21 songs, which is also too long. But at least like my problem with the Kanye album, right? Why do you need part twos to four of the songs?
I guess it's his
Yeah.
deluxe.
Like the thing for me though, right, is Kanye didn't promise, as far as I know, didn't promise anything about length. Drake released Scorpion, which was far too long, and it was a double-sided album, is what he said. Like there's a part one and a part two, whatever. Far too long. And then he comes out after Scorpion and says, yeah, it was too long. I'm never going to drop anything that long again. And then he comes out and drops something 4 minutes shorter. And it's not even two parts. It's just one long album. Like, I don't know if Drake just like talks and his mouth moves and he just doesn't think about what he says because the album was way too long and he said it wouldn't be that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, from that
you're right.
perspective, like you're definitely right. Like it's weird that he went against that after that because I feel like this album could have been very good if he took a few songs out of it. Like I think we all agree that there's like Connor has 12 good songs from both albums, right?
Mm.
So like there's 12 good songs in each, but like surely the artist is good enough or the producer is good enough to be like let's leave these ones out.
I think that was another thing I noticed about like are you when you compare the two of them is Drake always does that where he's like this album is going to have four genres of music, so no matter what you listen to, you'll find a song you really like on it and stream the
Yeah,
shit out of it. And he'll get like a mad streaming numbers, but you'll only listen to, you know, half the album at most. Whereas Kanye, at least, Kanye, you can listen to it and be like, okay, it all has a sound. Even if I don't like the song, it's in line with the album.
Yeah.
yeah. Drake's very calculated, I guess, in that degree, which is like, I mean,
Drake's just trying
yeah,
chart.
Yeah,
Drake
100%.
is, which is sad because I think Connor put like his list of Drake albums ranked, and I think number one was what was number one?
I think nothing was the same at number one.
Nothing. Yeah, that's a great album. It's like, and that has a sound. That has a
Yeah.
coherent sound all the way through it. Take Care is my favorite Drake album, and that has a sound all the way through
Even
it. And it's
Views
like,
has a sound, and Views got slated when he
yeah, I
first
listened
dropped
to
Views.
views, and it's
Loads of
like
people didn't like it, and but that has a sound.
it does, yeah. And it's like I don't know. Maybe our expectations were just too high, but there was just something about this Drake release that everybody thought, oh, you know what, it's going to be different. It's going to be great. Maybe because of how good the output prior to between Scorpion and this was with
Yeah.
with all of that. This doesn't feel as long as Scorpion. Scorpion feels 4 hours long, um, which is, I guess, a good thing for Drake. But like, I'm willing to go out on a ledge and say that Dark Lane demo tapes is still better than this.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I know
And
what you think, but I feel like Drake is really he's not an album guy anymore. Like he's a singles guy. Like all the projects he drops, which he hasn't thought about, which are kind of just loose drops. Even those like the care package ones, or what was the one he dropped after the Raptors won the championship? Like these ones where he
Equestrian the
Oh
drops
world.
yeah.
like
Yeah,
3 or 4 songs max. They just end up being better because they're just like I don't know. When he drops a single, it tends to be better than anything on the album.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a good
No,
point.
100%. I think that that's the way that Drake should go because I don't know, like maybe just like it feels like he hasn't got enough to say or something, or he hasn't got like
I
you're
saw
right
someone
that
saying that he's run out of things to say.
yeah,
Like he just covers the same topics now. Like
pretty much.
whereas
He just
Kanye is
says them a
doing
different
mad
way.
stuff. Yeah.
But like, I get that, but a lot of rappers do that, and we still listen. Maybe it's because we hold Drake to a higher standard, but I know Artem doesn't like any of the trap people, but like Migos and Future and Young Thug, they don't really be saying anything different. They just like, they barely say anything, but still manage to, I guess, innovate in some way, whereas
Yeah, that's I
Drake
don't know.
seemingly doesn't.
Maybe that's a weird one because I was actually talking to my brother about this, and he's like all about just songs that have like a rhythm, and he could not care less about the words. Whereas like whenever
Yeah.
I'm listening to music, I love listening to like really wordy songs, like say Pound Cake by Drake, like songs like
That's a
that. Like it's like
amazing.
it's got a good rhythm to it and stuff like that, but like it's really wordy. Like it's
But
not it's
that's
not it's not like a song you listen to over and over again at a club or something. It's one of the songs that you like learn all the words to, you know?
yeah, that's I think like for someone like Young Thug, you're not going, or I'd say very few people are going to Young Thug and being like, the lyricism is off the chain.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like Drake is still um talking about stuff he's talking about on Pound Cake. Like he's still talking about those same things today,
Yeah.
and it's 7, 8 years later.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. I mean, because that's a great point Connor raises about him not being an album artist. Because I didn't find anything on this album that was better than Wants and Needs, Lemon Pepper Freestyle. Even
Mm.
the Heady One track could have made it on here. Um, Laugh Now Cry Later I wasn't big on, but it's a decent song. Both DJ Khaled tracks that Drake was on were better than a lot of this. Chicago Freestyle is this Chicago Freestyle could have been on this album would be the best track by far. So I don't know, yeah, maybe Drake should just like stick to doing I don't know 5 6 song EPs every year, and people would be happy and do your features, do your stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I mean
I agree.
chill,
So hang on.
you
So
know.
we've given the point for the album cover to Donda, right? And we've
Hmm.
Yeah.
given the point to length. What we saying to that?
I'd go Donda.
Okay.
It's longer, but he didn't make it out that it was gonna be short.
Okay. I can get on board with that. We'll say that as well. Hanu, are you happy to go with that as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Donda on that as well because at least on Donda every song is very different, whereas like I still don't know like can't distinguish between 3 or 4 of the songs on Certified Lover Boy. And I've listened to it like 4 times now, so
Okay.
yeah.
So we'll do that. And then right, the next one I wanted to talk about, like we'll literally just talk about this and then we'll rate the album, right? Features. Which album has better
Mm.
features?
I was thinking this as well.
That's a very easy question.
Is it?
Yeah, to me it is.
To me it is well, but I
Artem,
don't
you
think it's the same way that you're gonna say.
Oh, I'll go last.
Artem,
I'm saying Certified Lover Boy.
Artem, stop talking. Find God. Come back after you found God.
Man, like it's so
That's
I'm
my
the
advice to you.
no man, the fucking the features on this are very good. Like I
No, no, I get it.
really
You really
enjoyed a
like
lot of it. Like, do you know what? Jay-Z showed up on both. Like, really showed up on both.
Jay-Z was better on Drake's than Kanye's, I thought.
Yeah, I
no,
think
I
so as
mean
well.
no. We,
Jay-Z's verse on Drake's is unreal.
Yeah, it's really really good. Like, that's what
I
I'm
don't.
saying. Jay-Z there, right? Travis Scott was sick. He was on. Was he on Kanye's as well?
Yeah, he was better on Kanye's for sure. The thing with
See,
Travis Scott
I
on
liked I liked the weekend on Kanye's, right? But then like I really like that song "You Only Live Twice,"
Hmm.
and I like Thames as well. Like,
Thames is a great feature on there. But like thing with we'll talk about Travis and Jay. Travis Scott, right? That song, I really that's probably my favorite song from that album. But when he was coming in, and you know how Travis Scott only has like one flow. He's saying a line and then he's doing the ad lib. Here he was rapping like Eminem for some reason when he kept going, and that really like struck out to me at first. But it's fair. I still think his feature on Kanye's album was better personally. Jay Z, right now. Funny thing about Jay Z is that when Donda came out, people were sharing the "You're confused, brother" memes because on Jay Electronica's album he was all Islam, and here he was all Jesus. And then this came out, and people were comparing Donda and this because like a lot of what Jay-Z is saying is directed at somebody or is argumentative, but you don't know who he's going at. He's not going at Kanye. He's just maybe going at the general public, but that was something people laughed at, rightfully so. And like, but why do you guys think Jay-Z's feature on this was better than that on Kanye's one?
I
I
don't
just
know. For
enjoyed
me, it
it
was
more.
just
It could have
more.
been the
Yeah,
whole song, but
it was just more
um,
memorable for me. Like I agree. I enjoyed it more than.
Okay, I guess
Than
I don't know.
Donda.
I really love the verse on Jail, like it properly hits. Um, but no, man, I think for it. So Connor, are you going with you said
Connor's the
you'll go last.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Donda because like the Lil Baby feature was made, man. Lil Durk feature was made. Um, the second future feature was made, whereas on Donda it was like everybody was giving their level best. Some guy on Twitter said that Kanye is the only man that can make Lil Yachty sound like Tupac. So yeah, that was But yeah, Connor, what's the how are you gonna break this tie?
see, I thought actually the features were almost the strongest parts of both albums at points,
Yeah,
but overall, I think I preferred them on Donda. But they're like, I think the only one that was better was, like I said, Jay-Z on uh Love All. Like, I think, did you guys have a favorite feature? Like one that kind of stood out from the rest?
I think mine was Jay Z on Love All, to be honest. Like the thing is, I enjoyed pretty much all the features on Certified Lover Boy. So like, it's that or Rick Ross.
Yeah. Well,
That's what stood out to me.
the other thing that I liked about Kanye's album is that he didn't tell you who the features were, so you
yeah, I
didn't
love that.
know. It was a surprise coming into it. Um, and I thought Jay Electronica's verse
Was amazing.
on, well, I can't remember what the song was, but it
Yeah,
was
Jesus Lord.
Jesus Lord. It was so good.
Yeah, I've been like, I am a J Electronica stan. Like, I think I've said this on Twitter and I've said it in the past. I believe J Electronica is the greatest lyricist of all time. He's a lot of people like haven't really heard of him because he's one of those like myths that like it took him 10 years
Mm.
to drop an album. But every feature he does, every song he has, he's like on a different level, lyrically to a lot of people. Um, but yeah, I think on Drake's album for standout features, I'd go maybe with I don't know, the is Yeba a feature because that was a standout um, for me. Uh, but yeah, I mean Travis was cool. That 21 Savage. What do you guys think of the 21 Savage song? Because it's really out of place on this. And
I liked it, but it felt more like a
yeah,
21 Savage song than a Drake song.
see, exactly. There's a few of those like that, aren't there? Like way too sexy sounds like it's on. It's a future song,
Mm.
and um. So yeah, man. But that's that on Donda. Like all the features. That first few songs with Jay-Z, Weekend, all of them just coming in doing their bit. I think though that's very good.
I think
So
the last thing I'd say about Donda is he butchered that Pop Smoke track is awful.
see, that's where I'm
Like,
gonna contradict you.
I thought it was like auto tuned and it didn't sound like, for someone who, like, Pop Smoke was so iconic because of his voice and they changed his voice on it. I thought.
Yeah, I like.
I would put
I'm
it
gonna
in, but I
sound like
haven't
one of
gotten that
those.
far into the album yet.
No,
It's
like the
like it's a
third
very
last one or
strange.
something.
Yeah, it's a very strange track because it's only 2 minutes. Something it's like an interlude basically. But if you look at the deeper meaning, I feel like it's very ghastly. Like it could be the theme to a horror movie or something. The low key pianos are just like dangling on the entire track, and then Pop Smoke is seriously like sounding like a demon or a ghost that's out to get you. And it's not the best Pop Smoke song, but I don't mind it, man. It's cool to it's cool to me. Honestly, it is cool to me.
A
Um,
demon or a ghost out to get you. I'm just like I'm imagining you getting spooked listening to it.
listen to it.
It's
I
like
the
I
keys,
will
the
listen to it. I
piano
will listen
keys.
to it. But I just imagine you like whatever like whenever I don't know, whenever I was younger, like if I watched like real ghosts on YouTube or whatever, like ghost caught on camera, like that's what I imagine your reaction
That's all.
was like
Look,
to
watch.
listening to
All you,
this.
all, all you need to do is turn off the lights, draw the shades, put on a scary video, and put this on the back of it. Like just wait till the piano keys come in. You'll start feeling paranoid. You'll start feeling
Does
like
Scooby Doo come out at any point and solve the mystery?
the devil is your op. You'll really start to feel like the devil is your op. But what do we think of Mr. Baby and Mr. Manson being on this? Does anyone care? Like, I mean, that's not a good way to put it. But Artem, do you care?
I don't care at all, but I haven't gotten that far in the album either, so I can't even say if it was good or bad. So
It's
Um,
not better than the J was.
yeah, I felt it's a bit like I wasn't a fan of it, and I felt it was also a bit weird to put on an album that's meant to be dedicated to your mother. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like such a needless controversy over over the baby. Like,
you
Exactly.
mean the
Oh,
hottest
yeah.
artist out there right now?
and
Don't do
then
that, man.
the baby's on there talking about now like he's just trying, like he can't feed his daughter and stuff like
Yes,
that.
yes,
And it's
yes,
like, what are you
exactly. I was.
doing? Like, it's
You
such
don't
a
have any.
stupid idea to put them on. Like, it just ruined the
Yeah.
track.
Like, you weren't sentenced to jail for something you did not. It was not like you were, robbed or your contract was messed up or something. You went on a stage, said a whole lot of nonsense, then doubled down on it,
Yeah,
and you're
you
already
did
getting
this to
concerts
yourself.
again. Yeah, you're on a Kanye West album. You're not going to struggle to feed yourself or your daughter. So that I don't know, that gig is didn't really appeal to me. And like no, nothing the baby can say will make me choose this over the Jay-Z version. So that
Yeah.
barely disregarded. I don't know what
I
Marilyn
can't
Manson is doing.
believe you
He's
think the
screaming.
baby's not better than Jay Z. That's such a controversial opinion.
He actually, he put out a tweet today, the baby, and he's like, "I got a song with the greatest rapper of all time coming," and I'm half expecting it to be Tory Lanez or something. Because
It's Russ.
oh my gosh, nah. Adam, do you like Russ?
No, I don't like Russ. Well, like, I
Because
don't listen
I
to Russ.
remember
Like,
in
it's not like I don't like him. It's just I don't listen to his music. I'm sure he's a sound guy.
Russ's yeah, Russ is one of those artists that just exists, and like you don't have any proof of it, but he's just there.
He's really
He's
got his own following. Like,
But isn't
his
he?
fans, I feel like, are super loyal.
Isn't he
yeah,
labelless though? Like, isn't that part of it? Like, isn't that why it's
Oh
so
yeah,
impressive?
and he lets you
yeah.
know.
I know he
He
lets you
really
know,
does
but like
let you know.
at the same time, like, look, respect. Like,
Yeah, no, it is, but
Yeah,
at
pretty
at
much.
the same time, like, it is like, okay, yeah, we get it. Like, every song you're talking about the fact that you did it yourself and that you're without a label, and then he says a lot of other stupid stuff.
Yeah, but at least he doesn't talk
he's
about being half cast all the time.
he's like to a certain extent, he's like if Meek Mill wasn't as famous, the whole rise and grind mindset. And Meek Mill is another topic for probably another day
Meek
if you
Mill
were
is
to
just.
start right now.
By the way,
But
if anyone's into like, you know, investing your money places, just follow Meek Mill's Twitter, and whenever he tweets about something, just know that it's the time to sell. It's the time to get out.
honestly, man, like the things he tweets are so funny. He comes onto Twitter to ask either like the dumbest questions which can be googled, or he came on Twitter one day, he was talking about, oh, I want to lease a private jet with 12 people, who wants to join me. You're
I
not going to
mean,
find the answer to on
look,
Twitter.
if I lived near him, I'd be down.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been to Ireland. I'm sure he was near your park at one point and you missed him because you were in
Oh damn!
Antarctica.
Not again. Right.
But
Will we go just final ratings for both of these albums? Or I'll go first. I'm gonna say 6 for Donda, 5.5 for Certified Lover Boy.
Um, I'll go 7 for Donda, 6 for Certified Lover Boy.
Uh, I'm I'm gonna be the outlier here, and I'm like a 4 for Donda and a 3 for Certified Lover Boy.
Ooh,
You know
Like
what? That
Anthony
just
Fantano.
all this is all shown is just like the difference between our rating scales because Hanu like he was trashing on Certified Lover Boy the whole time. Like he could not say a good word
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah.
it, and he still
I
gave it
was,
more than I did.
I was because it's always hard. Like, if I want to rate it on the scale of a Drake album, it's a 3 or a 4. But if I want to rate it on the scale of music, then it's a 6. And I have started, like, it has started to grow on me because once I got over the disappointment of being like a very mid Drake album, and I just started caring about the songs, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I actually
And
like a few of the songs on it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's a few that are gonna be
yeah,
staying
man.
in my playlist. So,
So it's always hard judging that. But
but
yeah,
there is a more controversial topic that we need to talk about.
okay.
One that has been debated for centuries since COVID came about,
Yes.
and that is
Hmm.
if you were to sacrifice one sport to end COVID-19, what would it be? And I liked a tweet that said that exact thing. Why would it be F1? Right. For me, I just don't watch F1. I've got no interest in F1. So I liked it and got called out immediately by Connor and then by Tasha. So today we're going to debate, is it F1 we get rid of? Is it another sport? But we're going to try to keep it to the more important sports because I've come to the conclusion that I give up equestrian because who the fuck, first of all, watches equestrian? And I can't imagine the people who, I don't even know if you could say play equestrian, like do equestrian, take part in equestrian, participate in equestrian. I can't imagine they're the most fun people to be around. So I'm going to say that. But
Yeah.
let's talk about the main sports, right? So we've got the main 10 sports here. Plus, we'll say F1 because it's
Let's
debated
just
as
think of
whether
an
that's
argument.
counted as a sport or not because it's a motorsport. But Connor, we know you're a big fan of F1. Explain to us why F1 is a sport.
Yeah. So, see, I've only been a fan of F1 for like 2 years, or like a year and a half. So, for
Plastic.
ages, yeah, exactly. For ages, F1, like it would be on TV, and I had no idea what was going on. I thought it was super boring. And then I watched Drive to Survive, so I actually understood what was going on. But like, yeah, the whole debate as to whether it's a sport, like, I think it was Lewis Hamilton was saying he loses like between like 2 and 5 kilos every race, or so he loses a crazy amount of weight, and they go through more G forces than fighter pilots do on every corner. So if that's not like that's physical exertion, just because you're in a car, it doesn't make it not physical exertion. Like I'd say that's a sport. Like you have to be an athlete to do F1.
Yeah,
Like a regular person cannot do F1. A regular person can go out and play football, but they can't drive an F1 car.
yeah. See, that's actually. I remember you explained that to me the first time, and that's what actually impressed me because I'd never thought of it that way. Because like I was kind of like the comments in here, which was like I can't remember who said it, but someone was like, "It's all about engineering. It's nothing to do with actual physical like
Yeah, that's a thick take.
exertion."
That's
Which
not a good take.
which to be fair is like I don't think
To
it's
an extent, it
entirely
is.
wrong, but it's not fair to say that the people who are in the cars aren't athletes.
Yeah, like I think it's a fair point in that your athleticism isn't going to differentiate you that much from the other drivers. Your reflexes, sure, and you're like knowing when to like your reaction times will, but like you just because you're stronger, you won't be a better driver. That's a fair point. It's mostly down
That's in
to
every sport.
engineering.
That's in every sport. It's never a competition of pure skill. Like there's an element of luck and mad other
But
shit
it
in
is
every
No,
like
but
sport.
they're like
you
in
could
other
take
sport.
the driver who finishes last in F1 at every race and put him in the best car, and he will finish maybe not first, but he'll finish in the top 3 or 4 most likely.
Well, see, that's
Like
the
the
thing.
cars play a huge role.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
the thing. It's like you can say there's an element of luck and stuff like that, but like for example, like I guess the football equivalent to that wouldn't be like, oh, you got the best boots and you're going to be the best player. It'd be more like, oh, you just happen to be in a great team and it helps you. Like, but
Exactly, yeah.
it's harder. It's harder to get into that great team in the first place. I find with football than it would be with F1. Like
Although,
Is
I
it?
don't know
see,
if that makes
in
sense.
in now in saying that, like F1, there's 20 seats, and there will only be 20 seats.
Yeah,
So like, and a portion of F1 drivers are kind of pay to play, like because their dad owns the team, or they get such a massive amount of sponsorships because money's so crucial. There's
yeah,
some drivers that they're not the most skilled drivers, but they have a guaranteed seat because their money's so important, which means you've skilled drivers who are like genuinely like could lose their place because there's just not enough seats.
yeah.
So it's actually like there's 20 F1 drivers in the world, and there can only ever be 21 or 20 F1 drivers in the world. So it is like one of the most competitive sports, I guess, for like places.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
We'll
but
saying that we'll say that let's keep F1 in it, right? Let's see what other
yeah.
sports we can kick out to get rid of COVID-19. We might end up like ending this conversation with we'll just wait until COVID-19's over. But
Mm, but yeah, not F1.
football
And
we're not
anyone
going to get
saying
rid of.
no,
This one I'm not too upset
no,
about.
no,
We can get rid of this one.
no,
No one plays this anyway.
no, 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 no. Listen, see,
You touched a
this
nerve
just
here.
yeah, you have touched a nerve here. This just tells me about how careless you are about Irish history, that you don't care about cricket because Ireland have had like you have had more success in cricket than you have had in football.
Yeah,
You
that's true, but it's also like
no, you have like won World Cup games and stuff, and I'm sure you've never won a World Cup game in football,
fantastic.
maybe one.
No, we did in
And
Italia 90. Did we not win any
On
games?
yeah, I'm
penalties.
sure. Oh yeah, I remember that. What's the thing about that? That was fun.
A win is a
That was
win,
a fun
Connor.
little video I watched. Yeah, no.
Technically, it's
But
not.
No, it's a win. Yeah,
oh,
we progressed.
cricket is cricket needs to stay because it sustains the lifeblood of over a billion people.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
like if you took cricket away, there would be like
if you
genuine
took
violence. Like it would be bad.
But hang
exactly,
on,
if you took
are we saying like is this a thing of like everyone in the world knows or just like it just disappears?
it disappears, and if COVID disappears, then this disappears too.
Okay, but then like okay, yeah, I get you. So people
No,
would
no.
notice
So
like
yeah, because cricket, first of all, is very fun to play and watch if you're watching the right form of cricket. Um, and just to drive my point home, if you took cricket out of the countries that really like play it, so mostly the Indian subcontinent, we would have identity crisis, and it would not end well, basically, for
well,
anybody.
you might get better at football
So,
then.
and I really
Like
wouldn't.
it might be like a net positive. You never know.
Yeah, I don't want to take the risk. I'm fine with the I'm fine with the bat and ball. But go on, Artem. Make your argument against cricket.
Uh, it's just not the most interesting. Like I thing is, you called me out and said I didn't play it. I have played it. I used to play it in primary school because we had a cricket team and stuff like that. But I just never liked it. Like it was one of those. Maybe it was just because of the level we were playing at. It was really fucking not interesting.
Mm.
But I just felt like there was a lot of standing around, and it didn't really feel like a sport as you would with other sports. Like for example, if you're playing basketball, you're always on the move. If you're playing football, you're always on the move. If you're playing tennis, you're always on the move. With cricket, it's not always the case.
That's not. Yeah, that's that. You're right. That's not wrong. But did you play cricket with those like hard ass leather balls, or was it like a tennis ball?
No, we played with proper cricket balls. Like we if we were playing it just
Oh,
for PE, we'd play with like I think probably tennis balls or something like that. But if we were
yeah,
playing like actual cricket for the team, then it would be like the proper cricket ball. I don't know what
yeah.
it's made out of, but it's hard as fuck.
It's really like yeah. That's I'd never want to play with that. No, nobody in India apart from actual players play with that shit.
Oh
But
So
like,
really?
it's all time. Yeah, but you can't because a lot of people play cricket on like roads, like
mm,
corridors and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well.
And
Oh yeah.
that
I
ball doesn't
guess.
bounce, and if it hits any part of you, then like that's a it hurts.
Oh yeah,
tennis balls
I've
in
had
this.
one to the shin, and it's not fun. Like
It's yeah.
we
Look
didn't
at
have
look
like
at
the
look at
proper
look at the
shin guards that they have. So
yeah. Look at the guy in the picture, man. Look at how much stuff he's got on,
yeah,
helmets and pads and mad stuff. So playing with one of those is foolish unless you're playing on a proper pitch and you're properly playing. It's mostly tennis balls and rubber balls and stuff. So yeah.
yeah.
Um, so
Okay.
have I done enough to convince you that cricket should not go?
Hanu, you haven't to be honest, but because it's you, I'll let it go.
I appreciate that.
Hockey.
Well, like I wouldn't mind it. We
I
got
did not.
cricket
If
next
you
year.
had like, I would not have believed you if you told me hockey had 2 billion fans.
Most of that is India and Pakistan.
Yeah,
Wow.
like I'd kind of like I feel like hockey's just one of the games that's like very like it is quite accessible. Like it's very easy to understand what's going on.
Yeah, you
Football is
just
the
don't
same.
hear much about it though.
Yeah. Well, to be
You don't,
fair,
yeah.
in Ireland you don't hear about it because it just doesn't get funded. Like it was actually really funny, Hanu. I don't know if you heard or not, but 2 years ago, I can't remember what it was. Like it was the Hockey World Cup, the Women's Hockey World Cup, and like Ireland, who have always been known to be shit, got to the final, and only after they got to the final, the government were like, "Oh, you know what? You guys deserve the funding now." Like they'd never fund the team to get there in the first place. It's like, "Oh, you did something good, so here's your reward."
And that's very reminiscent of how sport works in India. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
India and
mean,
Ireland are really the same place. We've got the same colours on the flag. We've got everything. Like
exactly, man. We don't like the British.
we both love Indian food.
Yeah, exactly. So, Leo, if you're listening, just give me a passport, please. That's
Yeah,
all I
actually,
want.
we've got Leo Varadkar. That's in common.
Yeah, he's Indian, exactly. So,
Yeah, Leo
yeah,
Varadkar. We know you're listening. It's weird the amount of people who listen to this. I think last week who was it listening?
Drake listened and he dropped the
Drake
album.
listened last week. Leo Varadkar's listened this week. We've got a really
Verse.
diverse audience. It's great.
Yeah, we
We'll
do.
leave hockey in there, right? Tennis, there's no
Yeah,
debate. That's staying.
I feel like we almost need to see the whole list though before making final decisions. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
we will. We will.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
Tennis,
here's what I'll say. Overrated as fuck.
absolutely not. You don't watch tennis.
I know exactly. See, like cricket is to me what tennis is to you. You like all the tennis stuff. You like paddle, squash, table tennis, regular tennis. But yeah, tennis never been really that fun to me.
Oh,
Um,
tennis is just fucking great. U.S. Open's on at
but
the moment.
yeah, sure. But I guess we can keep it.
Yeah, sure. As if okay, yeah. I'm sure the
Yeah,
US Open is on.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay, buddy.
um,
Sure it is. Are we all in agreement
volleyball.
that volleyball is fun to play? So we'll keep
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. It is.
And
It
it's
is. It
actually
is.
I was watching volleyball at the Olympics. It's actually so fun to watch.
Yeah,
So
it
you're
is.
watching the women's?
It, I was watching all of it. I wasn't watching the beach volleyball, but
Okay.
like
Ah,
every
Artem trying to
time
catch.
every
Artem
time I
trying to
watched
catch Conor
it,
slipping.
yeah, no, I'm not slipping anywhere. Every time I watched it, I don't know, like whenever they went up for those spikes, like he's doing in the photo, I was just thinking they must break their fingers all the time because like some of them looked so sore, like it would hit the whole block would be one pinky finger.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
must be sore as fuck. But volleyball
Yeah.
is cool,
So
so we're keeping
can,
it
can stay.
simple as. Table tennis,
Table
cool
tennis
as
is
fuck.
fun. It's super fun to watch.
It's
Yeah,
super fun to play as well. Like even if you're not good, it's
Yeah,
such a simple sport to pick up. So
it's so wild watching very good players.
yeah,
it is, man. Like I was watching in the Olympics this mixed doubles, and it was I think a Chinese duo and a Japanese. Like that was one of the most impressive things I've seen in a long time. Like I don't know how they do it, man. Like the ball's spinning, swerving, all of that's going on. Somehow it's
Yeah.
not going outside. Like it was it's mesmerizing to watch.
But
So
like, by the like, if they get into a serious rally, they'll both be like 5 meters back from the table.
yeah.
yeah, and they still somehow managed to.
Like,
They
it's not a
still
problem for
somehow.
them.
Yep.
Like it is so
Um.
weird. Like I got into into a table tennis vibe like a year or two ago. I remember like like all I watched on YouTube was like, have you ever heard of Pongfinity? They just do a lot of
Huh.
table tennis trick shots, and it's just so satisfying to watch. It's like all the stuff that you are talking about, but then they'd do all these crazy things where they're playing like table tennis with like random objects and stuff like that. And it's just like this is a great sport. This has to stay.
Yeah, so this has to stay.
Basketball.
Um, Basketball has to stay. I think this is the only one that we properly wholeheartedly agree on.
Yeah, I agree.
Apart from football, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't care if this goes.
No, either do I. I knew baseball was coming, and that's kind of what I was waiting for. Because I don't care.
You know what though? Like baseball, like if you're counting rounders within baseball, yeah, like I wouldn't have liked to have my childhood without playing rounders at camps and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's a fun game, but is it?
Yeah,
fun
but you'd
enough?
still have like softball, so you can play that instead.
No, but does that count?
But
I
you
mean,
still
it's
have
a
cricket.
sport. Like,
I guess so, but at the same time, it's just like it kind of seems like that's kind of cheating because you're essentially just substituting one of them out for the other.
Okay,
Like I
the
feel
thing
like
is,
if you
right,
were saying like for example like football's out, that means no five-a-side. You know what I mean? Like,
they're still the
yeah,
same sport. Like, do you know what I mean?
but softball and baseball would be, don't know. That they don't have like similar enough rules.
They're similar, but they're not the same.
But that's the same thing as five-a-side, like similar but not the same.
if baseball
It's kind
goes,
of
then
like for
cricket
example
takes over.
like paddle and tennis. Like I'd class them as one and the same. Like if you were taking away tennis, then you paddle would probably be gone as well.
But like,
I
It's
I
don't
feel
know.
like
I'd class them differently.
they're different sports, but it is kind of like the concept is so near that I feel like it would be cheating to take one out and just leave the other one in. You know.
Mm.
yeah, but
But
like
saying that, this is the one that I have in my mind right now.
mm, okay, I listen. I had too much fun playing baseball on Wii Sports when I was 7, so I keep it. You know, don't really mind.
You know,
Um,
this is gonna be controversial. I've changed my mind. I know my opinion.
yeah, no, of course, this would be my number one pick, honestly.
I actually could not care less if another rugby game was never played again.
Rugby, American football, Australian rules football, Gaelic football, all of that nonsense. Take it out. Like,
No,
listen,
GAA is actually good. Like I just
I don't care.
I
Honestly,
can't
don't
get
care.
with rugby. Like I really hate the fact that they can't pass forward. Like sometimes you see rugby highlights and you're like, you know what, that was actually kind of impressive. But at the same time, I'm just like, oh, I just don't like it. I don't like the vibe. I don't like the people.
No,
I
the
don't get
vibe is
why
awful.
everyone gets naked all the time.
Yeah, listen, man, look, we talked initially about exchanging COVID for a sport. I'll give you a package deal. Take all of that American football, rugby, all of that away, and take a few extra diseases with you. Okay, it's good
No,
for
no, no, no.
everyone.
Do you know what? American football has to stay just purely for Ilya. Like I feel like American football has its highlights. I
No, it
feel like
doesn't, man.
oh yes, it
No, it
does.
does not.
Have you never watched
No,
American
Come
football
on.
football is the
highlights?
definition of a highlight sport. Come on.
Exactly.
I don't care. Like, it's honestly, it's really not.
Nah, no,
Like, the
no,
thing
no.
with
I'm
America,
keeping
no,
American
no,
football in without a doubt. What
nah,
is the
no,
last
I'm
one
not.
actually?
Like,
Okay.
yeah, take this out. Take this out as well. I don't mind.
No, no,
Just
no. We'll
take that
keep it
out.
golf. Golf is great. I fucking kept kick cricket for you. Fuck you.
No, but see, look, we are almost at an agreement with rugby and American football, and you
Yeah.
want to, yeah. So
No,
like,
see, I'm the one who's standing by rugby.
Oh.
you're standing by it. Like rugby can go, or do you want to keep
No,
it?
as in, I'd keep rugby over baseball, 100%. Baseball's trash. Baseball
I
suffers from
prefer.
all the problems that cricket does, and less people play it.
Oh, I know,
That is
but
true. See, the Indian in me does say that if baseball goes, then like the substitute is cricket, and that's a win.
how funny would it be going to the Yankee Stadium and watching cricket?
I think that has happened. Like a few years ago, they did like a charity tournament there, and it was not good.
The New York
Um,
Yankees playing against the Indian national team.
yeah, it was no, it was like all of these old ass legends that retired to promote cricket in America, and now a lot of Indians, like players that are washed up, are going to America to play cricket.
Whenever
then
Americans playing football, I cannot imagine America playing cricket at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Like not like it, I can't even picture it in my head. Like it's way too strange.
but like a white American or just any American.
Any Americans, I suppose not
Uh,
Americans of like Indian descent. Like excluding them, I can't imagine just like any other Americans playing cricket.
but like I don't see how that's different to like uh, British people or Australians or New Zealand people playing cricket. Like
No, it
Purely because
absolutely is
no, but
different.
purely because like there's the culture here of playing cricket. Like like the English invented cricket.
unfortunately, they did. Yeah.
So like
Um.
it's just the Americans have no culture of playing that sport. Like even soccer, they have like soccer moms and all the kids play soccer. But like you never see anyone talk about cricket in America really.
Because
Yeah, that's
cricket's dead.
fair, but I don't know, man. I feel like if they managed to develop cricket enough, people that got rejected by baseball could become cricketers over there, and I can see that happening. Um,
Would
yeah,
mustaches be
man.
more popular if cricket was more popular?
What's your line of questioning? Where does that come from?
I don't know. I just find it all like. Would I be wrong in saying that a lot of the Indian and Pakistani players have mustaches?
Yeah, they do. That's actually a good point.
There you
Ooh,
go. You got to emulate your heroes.
nah, I'm alright.
No,
Um,
you look great in a mustache.
In a
Um,
mustache.
yeah. Movember is coming up.
oh, it is coming. Holy shit, it actually is. Um, we'll have a, I don't know, maybe.
One
But yeah,
like, an annual grow mustache.
one like. Yeah, actually, give us one like, man. Please just give us one like. That's all because we get about 8 to 9 likes, and YouTube cuts it down to one anyway. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well,
but
if there's
I'm
anyone
I'm
actually
killing
still
American
listening,
football.
one like. Do you know what? We'll give you a like if
American
you're
football
listening.
wasn't even a choice.
I don't know. Take
Yeah, it
take it
wasn't.
out. Take all of it out.
Okay,
Take
so we're.
malaria.
I think we can agree on baseball, right? Like
Yeah.
let's say that like we can all come together and say baseball because then it doesn't harm any of us.
Yeah,
Sure, I
I
guess.
also feel like the fact that baseball has a game every 3 days, sometimes two on the same day, just shows how like I feel like they don't even take it seriously.
Yeah,
Like, how are you going to play two games on the same day? And
That's a bit
like, I
wild.
think their season is like 120 games or
yeah,
something like that.
something like that.
It's
Yeah.
nuts. Like,
No, that's a bit wild though. Yeah. Okay, let's baseball. Thanks for the memory. It's time to go. Um,
There we go.
yeah,
Baseball has been eliminated. So,
it has.
guys,
Tomorrow there'll be zero COVID cases,
exactly. That's what I
but
was gonna say.
there will
People
there
better
will
start
also
thanking
be
us soon. We have taken the
yeah.
hit for the whole world. We are prepared for the backlash.
Hmm? Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think we've reached the end of a very eventful and nice episode. Um, Artem, is there anything we got to discuss still?
No, that's it. I was just gonna say, let us know which sport you'd get rid of. Do you agree with us with baseball, or do you want to get rid of another sport? If you want to get rid of another sport, let us know which one it is. Do you want to get rid of another sport just to annoy me or Hanu? If so, which one would you get rid of? Obviously, there's a couple that are quite obvious. You'd piss both me and Hanu off with basketball. You piss Hanu off with cricket, and me with golf. Um, I think that's pretty much it. Let us know which album you preferred, Donda or Certified Lover Boy, or actually if you're a real OG, if you're a real fan of music, did you prefer Little Sims, which was way better? So
should have.
exactly. Um, but yeah, like Connor, thank you for coming on. I know it's short notice, so
Thanks for
appreciate
having
that.
me.
Yeah, so people watch out for Connor's YouTube channel as well. C Duffy will link it in the bio and obviously tweet him out as well. But yeah, if you did enjoy, please leave a like. Um, we're trying to get one like because YouTube hates us. Hanu, thank you for
Thank you. Thank you.
another
Have a
episode.
nice day.